What if I told you that a man was predicted centuries before he was born? Not just generally, but with detail. His birthplace, his ancestry, his betrayal, even how he would die. This isn't mythology. This is history. This is Jesus. And he wasn't just a good teacher, he was expected. The Old Testament, written hundreds of years before Jesus, contains over 300 prophecies about a coming Messiah. Let's look at just a few of the most powerful ones. Born of a virgin, Isaiah 7:14. Born in Bethlehem, Micah 5:2. From the line of Abraham, Judah, and King David, Genesis 12, Genesis 49, 2 Samuel 7. Betrayed by a close friend for 30 pieces of silver, Psalm 41:9, Zechariah 11. Pierced in the hands and feet, Psalm 22. Silent before his accusers, Isaiah 53:7. Buried with the rich, Isaiah 53:9. Would rise again, Psalm 16, Isaiah 53. Jesus fulfilled every single one. But how do we know these prophecies really came before Jesus? In 1947, a shepherd made a discovery that shook the academic world: the Dead Sea Scrolls. Inside clay jars, hidden in caves near Qumran, were scrolls over 2,000 years old, including the full book of Isaiah, dated to at least 150 years before Jesus was born. That scroll includes Isaiah chapter 53, describing in vivid detail a man who would be pierced, rejected, led like a lamb to slaughter, yet would somehow bring healing and peace to many. This prophecy wasn't written after the fact. It's been sitting in a cave since before Rome ruled the world. Let's get even more specific. Psalm 22, written 1,000 years before Jesus, describes crucifixion. They pierce my hands and feet. They cast lots for my clothing. All who see me mock me. My God, why have you forsaken me? Crucifixion didn't even exist in Israel when this was written. It was invented later by the Persians, then adopted by the Romans. Yet Jesus died in exactly this way. Still not convinced? What if we told you that even non-Christians, people who didn't believe in Jesus, wrote about him? Let's take a look. Tacitus, a Roman historian who hated Christians, wrote in AD 116, Christus, from whom the name had its origin, suffered the extreme penalty during the reign of Tiberius at the hands of Pontius Pilate. Tacitus confirms three things. Jesus lived. He was executed by Pilate. His followers spread quickly, even under persecution. Josephus, a Jewish historian writing around AD 93, said, At this time there was a wise man called Jesus. He was condemned to the cross by Pilate, and those who had loved him did not cease to do so. And then there's Pliny the Younger, a Roman governor. In a letter to Emperor Trajan around AD 112, he wrote, They sing hymns to Christ as to a god. Even the Babylonian Talmud, a Jewish commentary hostile to Jesus, admits, on the eve of Passover, Yeshua was hanged because he led Israel astray. None of these sources were Christian. None of them had anything to gain, yet they all agree. Jesus lived, he died, his followers believed he rose again. So what does this all mean? Jesus didn't just appear in history. He was spoken of before time, confirmed by enemies, and followed by millions ever since. He fulfilled ancient prophecies that archaeology confirms existed long before him. He lived a life of compassion and power. He died willingly, as foretold. And his resurrection changed the course of history. Now the question isn't just, did Jesus exist? Or even, did he fulfill prophecy? The real question is, what if it's all true? What if he really is the one sent to rescue you, to give you purpose, to bring you peace, to show you love that never fails, to give you eternal life? You don't need to have it all figured out, but maybe, like millions before you, it's time to look at the evidence and believe. Jesus was foretold. He was found, and he still invites.